Hot 97, the midday movement. DJ Drewski in the building. And today on Hot 97 is officially Farrah Fridays.
Yes, Farrah Fridays in the house. Farrah Abraham is here.
Farrah Abraham is here.
Yeah. In the building, in NYC.
And we respect you because you are an ultimate hustler.
Thank you.
Like-
I love to hear that.
Like super hustler from the start of your
My
big
life.
break, right? To, yes, basically your life.
My life.
And hasn't stopped since.
Yeah, no. I think like maybe that's because, even before I was a single parent, I always was like making the newspaper. I was having my own little companies. I would hire my neighbors. I'd hire my sister. And I think I just always had a hustle. So there's nothing wrong with that.
At all.
No. So have fun, have some competition, and get on in there.
And you know how to get to the bag.
I mean, I've had to learn the hard way in entertainment. I think it's a different beast. But yeah.
Right. One bag you got to a few years back was from Vivid.
Like a decade ago.
Ago.
Longer.
But at that time, $1.5 million is a lot of money.
I get like residuals the rest of my life, but yes.
Talk your ish. Talk your ish. Because that's what is happening today. We're here to talk about this A&E docu-series.
Yeah, I'm on TV talking about it. Like, who would have guessed over a decade later it would be a thing to talk about it? But
Right.
It for sure is. From just video recorders to our cell phones now to OnlyFans. And like AI girlfriends. It's definitely the 2025 topic.
Right. So it's secrets of celebrity sex tapes.
Yes. And I actually learned a lot from watching the premiere episode with Rob Lowe. And I almost felt like, whoa, I had no idea what was going on in the 80s and what like their lives were and what their experiences were with like a sex tape. Everybody has like their own sex life. So I really don't like to like celebritytize or glorify this, but I do feel like people have glorified it. I was actually shocked to watch my episode that everyone gets to see soon. But like they didn't tell me or consent to like who was talking about me and my
the
own
other
episode.
guests.
Yeah, the other guests. And I was like, literally, I had to ask my team. I was like, was that manager acting like he even had a conversation with me and he thought he was getting hired by me, or was that like someone else? And my team was like, no, he's claimed that he worked with you. And I think like the production really needed to see the receipts. I think like I showed up goodwill. Like I just, I learned some things of how to speak and how to voice my emotions because I used to be very emotionally dysfunctional.
Right.
And I was just trying to show up and see how well I could, conversate about some of the things I went through to help someone else. But it really kind of took me off when they didn't like have anyone with receipts of what they were saying. So it was very opinionated. But yeah, I hope people just pay attention to what I'm saying.
But that's why it's important for you now to do these interviews to
Yeah.
express that. Hey, when you watch this, series, some of the characters that they have on the
Stranger
screen.
danger.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Don't believe strangers who
Right.
claim something and have no receipts.
But when they came to you with this idea, hey, we want to recap this whole sex tape that came out, did it take a minute to think
It
about
wasn't nicely like that. Like
Oh.
you say it nicely, like, hey, Farrah,
Right.
I would like to recap about this sex tape with you. It really wasn't nicely done like that with me. It was someone manipulating a producer who worked with me on Teen Mom.
Got it.
And then she got my number, and then she said, oh, I'm like working on this show and I'm getting all of like this B-roll of like your life around the sex tape. And she just starts talking to me. So I try to answer her. I literally got out of like a direct neurofeedback, like psych doctor's appointment. And she just was acting like, oh, I don't have to pay you for what you just said. I don't have to pay you to be on the show. Your life is out there already,
Right.
so I'm not going to pay you. And I said, you didn't get consent to record me during this call. And if you want to act like that, that is exactly why I about face. I don't talk to people. And consent is number one. It's a law, and no one is above laws. And I think that's all I'm trying to say is I had to fight very hard to get agency over my life, my identity. And by going to a trauma center, I learned that everybody's perspective, everybody's thought, everybody's whatever they think is not my identity. So if you want to hear the real person, stop talking and hear the real person.
And that was important for you to if they're gonna do this, for you to be there, because there's others.
I actually told her to, go fuck off and never call me again.
Okay, that was the first
yeah,
response.
And so, I don't know, she got fired or something. And, a year later, there was more arguments between different managers, between other people. Again, just sensationalizing this and acting like they're the voice, but they're not.
Right.
And I basically said, and then like casting was trying to screw me over on payment. People just don't know how to act with me. And I feel like the majority of the people who are commenting on me and weighing on me, again, they're more worried about celebrityism. They're more worried about staying relevant. They're more worried about being in control and a part of something. And I am like the least one. I didn't even care if I was a part of it. I was just like, you're either going to treat me right, like my doctors told me how to stand up for myself, or fuck it, I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now I just feel like, I don't know, I need my own Lifetime movie, talent-led documentary, so people can actually get receipts, so they can really understand what's going on.
Of course. But wait, wasn't your dad a part of this one?
Yeah, found out my dad was a part of it.
So dad didn't tell you?
Yeah, and I think from paying for therapy for them for so many years, they would have realized that I always said, hey, please, just send me a note or something, give me a heads up if you're going to do something that's talking about me.
Right.
That wasn't respected. I'm not surprised anymore.
Of course.
So there's no surprises here that the people who spoke about me would speak about me and say whatever they wanted. And that's why I live my own life. So.
Well, I look at it as a benefit, right?
It's a benefit.
You're on the road. You started a whole stand-up career.
Yeah, I've enjoyed comedy in between all this craziness. I'm trying to finish my grad program with mental disability discrimination, and then also finish my doctorate in law. So It's kind of like entertainment is to the side, sadly. Like my comedian friends are like, Farrah, you want to stop in? And I'm like, I think I need sleep. I have a test tomorrow.
Right.
So I guess I'm just like a little in remission with comedy and stuff. Again, like when stars align, like TV is everything to me. So I'm probably like the comedian who's like, hey, let me put together a TV special. I'll show up, knock it out. I'm probably not the on the roader kind of a comedian.
You did it. You tried it. You attempted.
I was like, wow. And then there was legal issues and men acting crazy and girls acting crazy. And again, I just kind of have kiboshed the craziness. So I think like Farrah staying to TV is like, that's my comfort zone in entertainment.
Right. So with the sex tape docu-series, do you feel like now you're reliving that whole moment once again, now that you got to talk about it? And
I didn't really feel like I was reliving it. I was seeing it recycled through people who just wanted their own points and perspectives that were not accurate. I think I luckily, again, just was grateful I could let people in to my world and have some of those secrets that I kept in and share my feelings. But yeah, they just kind of missed like the male toxicity that I was dealing with. I don't know if you recall. I don't know what the men gossip, male gossip was, but when I went to Howard Stern after that success of the sex tapes or whatever was going on, Howard Stern's co-host like hated me, and there was a bunch of men who hated me, and still to this day, like some of my girlfriends are like, oh my God, like this guy I'm dating like hates you. And like they'll tell me all about this. And so I've really seen in my life, like you either have men who are like, yo, I get it, she's doing the best she can and she's trying to make the most out of it and good on her and like whatever. And then you got men stuck on some guy who was a porn star, who wanted to be more famous, who did what he did to a star, and they're like, she left him out of money. She purposely like lost him money or something. And it's like, just like I just mentioned with my dad not doing something consensually, like if you cross me and don't get consent for something, why would I call you and include you on something that like, it's like criminal. It's like rapey vibes. Like I'm not going to talk to someone like that ever again.
Right.
So what is your vibe? You're just like, oh, he's left out of money? Like,
no, now that you explain it, I understand it.
Yeah, like,
and I get it.
There was these two groups of people. It's like, whatevs, I'm going to talk to you about my sex life. And then there's just like people who are like, I hate Farrah because she left out some guy who was seriously like an abuser. But they just don't care about that. They just are like, you left him out of money.
knowing everything now, would you have done it the same way today?
Well, I can't have any regrets. I have to like
You
sit
can.
No,
Okay.
I don't want to. My trauma center doesn't say have regrets. I have sat with my accountability
Right,
for the
right.
problems I caused myself. So I have no regrets. Like honestly, I never knew that was.
A thing.
I never knew I could ever have that in my life. And until someone was trying to like normalize and coercion me and all these other like criminally stuff, I think that's why something happens, right? So like the only thing I live now is I'm not around people who manipulate, take advantage of my vulnerabilities,
Right.
or are criminal like that. So I think that's why I have peace in my life. So I don't really need to change anything.
Do you feel like it took a while to be able to see those red flags in people? Like you gave people just chances for years and years?
I feel like when we are emotionally dysfunctional, we can sometimes be very naive or too nice, or like we don't recognize, like the trauma center says, like we don't recognize because we're out of touch with ourselves that our spiritual melody, like someone's upsetting our spirit, our soul. And I didn't recognize that because I grew up with a high amount of dysfunction, upsetting spirit in my family. And, you know, I just had a lot of people who didn't believe in mental health. We all had mental disorders.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with having a mental disorder, but if you don't take accountability and you get aggressive and you lose, you know, you ruin your family because of mental disabilities, I think that's sad, and that's what happened to my family.
Right. So now at this stage in your life, do you include, we see you with your daughter, but mentally, is she included in everything? And are you there to guide her and, you know, point things out that she might not be able to see?
I almost feel like that's my job, being a good guide to my daughter, or
Right.
if I had any other child in the future. Being a good guide is like the number one responsibility that I need to take accountability for. Yeah, I don't want her having like a gap in her development where she's vulnerable and peer pressures can come in and swindle her mindset. I have to actually say my daughter teaches me. She holds me accountable. Even with this special coming out, she's like, okay, you're not going to be talking to family. And so she doesn't, I don't know if it was my generation and we just like allowed abuse on our shoulders.
No, we definitely did.
Yeah. But her generation right
Gen
now,
Z.
16, like they believe in mental health. No trauma, no drama. Like, this is what it is. Let me be me, you be you. Like, we have our space. So I feel like my daughter is just going to have a much better life than me. Everybody else is always insinuating, like, oh, you need to worry about your child being pregnant. There's no worry for me. She knows, like, it's a feature in our society. We don't have a law, but I'm advocating for it, that teens and younger can be included in contraception prevention.
Right.
Like, some young men can't get vasectomies. They want them. Why are they left out? Same way with women. Can't tie your tubes at 16 or 10 or whenever people are having sex or by force. So I think that's what I learned from Full Circle, 16 and pregnant, and my daughter has benefited from it. She doesn't engage in relationships like
Really?
I used to in a public school setting. And I kind of just said I don't believe in public school because it puts her in a very bad position to have those peer pressures like I had. So she does homeschooling.
Oh, that's good.
And she knows how to use a phone. She doesn't need it taken away at public school, just saying.
Oh, okay, Mom. So
Life.
But it also helps because her mom, you're her mom, right?
Yeah.
And then now things like this happen where A&E puts out this docu-series.
Yeah.
And all the kids her age probably never even knew or heard about this to now. And if she's in public school, she got to deal with that.
So no, they heard about my sex life in kindergarten, and parents used to be seriously disgusting and just disgusting saying this. They would talk about my sex life to their 5-year-old sons. And my daughter brought that up one day in kindergarten. So from a very young age, I knew how abusive and toxic public school was. On a bus, the behavior I had to get called in to go deal with, them teaching her how to, like, gaslighting, acknowledging that something's not there that is there. My daughter saw me go to bat.
Wow.
Go to bat for
At 5
her.
years old.
Yeah, 5 years old. And when that happened, I just said, hey, that's not age appropriate. why would people in kindergarten be talking about adult sex lives?
Right.
That's
It's a
just
little weird.
so not appropriate. And I think like really what happened is in that community, I owned 3 brick and mortar stores. I was all over television shows. My child is a mega star and she is in a public setting. And so, you know, I'm like God to those kids, honestly. I'm like God to these children. They wish they had me as the mom. And what is the one thing envious, jealous parents can do? Make her out to be nasty.
Right.
Make her out to be bad. But I will never forget, you know, having kids just having fun and being lined up out my stores, them giving my daughter like pictures to go sell in her store because she was influencing them to be business owners.
Right.
So honestly, you gotta just keep your trail, keep it positive, and if other people want to have negative, dysfunctional lives and hurt their sons and their thinking, that is on them. But I did not play any part into that.
How were the dads? Like, were they on the low? Like, hey, let's set up play dates.
The dads on the low came into my businesses sometimes when I was there. And they said some really shady stuff about their mixed families and trying to cheat on the women out there in the suburbs. So I actually realized like suburbs is just too wounded and toxic for me. And it was sad. Some of my mom friends were drugged by their husbands. Some were killed. Some were abused around Christmas. And again, they all had kids that were my daughter's age. So it was just very inappropriate. And when I hear suburbs and 10 out of 10 schools, I run the opposite direction now.
Right.
Straight up.
Because I'm sure some of those dads follow you now on your OnlyFans. Right?
Always.
Do they hit you up like, hey, our daughters used to go to school together?
I'm not, you know, there's no secret. I can't be Farrah in 100 million places at one time. But I've seen old employees on there. Sports players. You name it, it is on OnlyFans, guys.
So is the goal for you just, let's get this bag, let's make this money and live our best life? Like, by any means, almost.
You know, my goal is to make a legacy for my child. And I think if you're doing what you love, what's aligned with you, and having a good time, you will always be successful. And don't let any hatred or any threats get in your way of making other people's lives better by just sharing your story too.
Right. Because some of the stuff you've been through, people would have cracked and gave up. And was like, this ain't for me. I'm going into hiding. I'm depressed. You're still out here working. Like,
yeah,
you seem excited and happy about it.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, honey badger don't give a fuck, you know? Like that line is real in my life. And I pay tribute to just ketamine treatment straight up. Like ketamine, like I used to like sit even after the trauma center and like a wave of weight and depression used to, you know, just come on over me. And I was like, I can't live my life like this. And that's why I talk about like, I don't know if anyone's experiencing this, but like, I just need relief. I need relief from like my mental disorder, okay? Like, and I'm honest with it.
You've been diagnosed with a mental disorder.
Yeah, so I have ADHD and attentive disorder. So I continue to take Wellbutrin with the ketamine treatments. My doctors oversee everything. And I have to just say it like that because some people like to do ketamine on their own and they think like we're all going to have the same outcome.
What is ketamine used for?
So ketamine is used for so many things. It's life-saving. Like if you have like an ambulance show up and you're in a chronic or a severe condition, you're gonna die. They're going to shoot you in your bloodstream with ketamine to save your life. So ketamine, I put it in my mouth, in my cheek, and I sit there for 2 hours. You have to do 12 sessions in a row so your brain gets like new snow on your train tracks and neurons up there. And I also have Wellbutrin, which also kind of like helps your brain waves change. And then you end up, instead of going negative, you go positive. And I think that was my goal. That's my dream, to have relief and to be happy. But relief in the right way, not a suicidal way like I used to get. And so, yeah, I think other people struggle with that. I'm so happy to be honest about that.
Yeah, no, because being honest is what helps others. Like you said, you feel like now your role is to guide others, whether it's your daughter or just fans, people listening. It's like, this is what works for me and may work for others.
And I'm tired of seeing people's lives be ruined by not knowing the help that they can get for their mental health. And it really hurts me to see people struggle, be homeless, all of those things. Like, and again, it's just the tweak in our mental health. So if anyone hears this and you're struggling with medications or anything like that, check out some ketamine. It's covered by your insurance, and you will truly, if you have chronic body pain, you will never have pain again. If
Right.
you have depression, it will be gone. So yeah, don't doubt it.
Well, that was my next thing is certain people in positions are more financially stable. So you can get the best medicines, you can get the best treatment, see the best doctors,
Yes.
right? Has it cost you a fortune to control this, feelings?
I would
these-
say a lot of these things, if you have insurance, it's free. So I know a lot of people are like, I don't know what insurance is, but look up goldenrule.com. It's like 130 some a month, and you can swing it. And yeah, I had insurance ever since I had my daughter. I learned a very important lesson by not having insurance when I was pregnant with an $8,000 hospital bill that is normally free for people. So no matter how much you think insurance is, just know like it's a lifesaver. $0 for ketamine treatment, trauma center normally $40,000 covered under insurance.
Gotcha.
So like, take the step.
Right. Because you opened up about how much you spent on like cosmetic surgery. And I'm like, she spends a lot. So imagine.
It's a lot of money to feel good, look good. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
People don't understand. It costs, to, like you said, not only to
costs.
feel good and to look good.
Yeah.
Do you feel like today you reached both, you know, pinnacles?
Like I have no Botox. I have zero filler. I just let myself be whatever self is. I got my Invisalign in right now. I'm never not taking care of myself.
Right.
And I'm just really happy for once in my life. And I think just feeling that self-love and connection to self is the most important thing. So, yeah, we're in a good place. God bless.
I'm happy for you. That's great.
Yeah.
Because you found your self-love. Now, are you open to other people loving you? Is there any relationships currently happening?
So I did a 12-step program for relationships. Like you can do 12-step for finance and da-da-da, which I have, and I think that helps. I did do the relationship one to meet someone. I dated someone for 10 months. It was probably like my longest relationship in a long time. But really what I've noticed in my relationships is I am capable of loving, and it's choosing and finding the right person who's also reparented themselves, done mental health work. And if that's not on the same plane, we cannot date. So yeah, unfortunately that relationship had to end. We were going to couples therapy. He was seeing his own therapist, reading the books, like doing everything. I mean, he really just looked up to me rather than be in a relationship and be my partner with me. And I think like
It is.
I can't do that when I have a teenager and I'm guiding someone. But like mad love to everybody on their journey. I just know like when you get to the end of your journey, like I did, I took 2 years. I didn't date. I didn't want to put pressure on someone like that. And then I started dating. And yeah, so you can't be too kind in dating, and you just got to say, hey, we're either on the same level of personal development or hit me back when you're developed.
Right.
That's it.
That's what type of time you're on.
That's
it.
the truth.
Right. That's the truth. You brought up kids earlier.
Yeah.
Is that still like, are you open to that? Have you?
I am open to having a child. I think like I learned with my doctors and ADHD, like doing one thing at a time is like the best thing. And I think like giving my daughter all of her time that she so deserves for her self-worth, her self-value, and confidence, like one thing at a time. This ADHD mom can only focus on one child on top of all this other stuff that I've been doing. And I think, if I ever do meet someone, because I'm choosing to be single right now, when I open myself back up, which will probably be after I graduate, and I'm chilling here in a second, but and also like a lot of men right now just can't, they can't process the court and legal battles that I'm going through. It is just too rough on them, I guess. So I feel like I just gotta get through these last things of legal problems and settle that. Some men can totally understand and be there for someone who's been like sexually assaulted, and some other men just don't want to be held accountable for like if you're not emotionally connected to your partner. So yeah, I need a serious person. But yeah.
Does she ever ask for a younger brother or younger
Oh yeah. So she asks, she's open to a younger brother or sister. My daughter's like, well, wait till I'm out of the house before you have
Right.
like another, and I just always said like I would never bring a whole other life into our life. Like I love my little family. I love our life. I can't say that enough. So yeah, one thing at a time. Like even Tony Robinson, like they're having children now, and they're like way older. Like
Right, right.
Elon Musk, like he's just having a cascade
Well, it's different
of
for
children.
men. Men is different.
Okay.
For a woman,
Because you're like, you're
Right,
this,
you-
you're that. It's all right here.
right? So it's like, now you
Yeah.
just celebrated a birthday, right?
I do.
Did you just-
Yeah, birthdays,
What-
34.
34. But for women, it's like, okay, 34. I'm on a time limit.
I
Do you
kind of
feel
just
like
took
that
time
or
limits
no?
off my life. And I think just learning about my brain type, my doctor's just like, you're going to really hit clarity at 35. And so he always just says, like, give yourself grace if it takes longer. And so I do. So I can't have a timeline. And also, I saw both of my parents get remarried at 60. So
Right.
why do I need a rush having someone in my space? I'm sorry. I love my self-love time, and there's so much of me to go around as it is. So yeah.
Right. Well, we're excited for you. We're happy for you. Ultimate hustler right here. And you got to come back when you hit 35, when you reach clarity. Because we want to
Clarity.
see the clear Farrah.
Yeah, maybe I'll have like that self-led documentary over my life, some Lifetime movie, and we'll get into it.
Well, in the meantime, you could tune in. Her episode of Secrets of Celebrity Sex Tapes on A&E is dropping 22nd.
Yes, September 22nd. I will be watching with you all.
Okay. Yeah, better tune in. DJ Drewski, Hot 97.